Sup? Yep. That's my intro. Hey guys, how you going today, man? Let's get straight to it. The topic today is going to be the Forge, which you should be leveling up. Before we get even further, let me just say that the Forge should be going just as much as any other timed progress inside of your castle. Meaning that you see the research center always going. If you have any wounded troops, you should be having wounded troops inside of your hospitals already going. Your barracks should consistently be filled. You should, anything that needs to be timed. You got two hammers, you should have both of those going. Anything that has to be timed should be going in your castle at all time. So the question you want to have is, what should I be building inside of my forge? Well, first off, what you want to build is construction gear and research gear. So we're going to be going first over the best construction gear and research gear in the game. I'm going to tell you when you should be building these things. But before we go, let me tell you the best piece of construction and research gear in the game is simply one item. It is one item. You're going to need to be a level 50 to be able to use it, but it is the elf boots. So even if you're not a level 50, you should build this and get this going, get it started, get it upgraded as soon as possible. Getting level 50 is not very difficult in the game. It is actually after level 50, when the points start slowing down, you need a whole lot to get to 55 and to get to 60. You need a whole lot, but getting level 50 isn't that difficult. The elf boots is the highest in the game at 35% of construction speed and research speed at 30%. If you will take a look with me, you will notice that when it comes to the sword, there is no construction boost for the swords. If you haven't noticed, this little button over here allows you to be able to choose between what you want to look for. And right now our focus is dealing with construction. And we will see that again, the sword has no construction boost. There is no construction boost for this area. The helmet does have the ear cuff hat. This is what I'm actually upgrading currently inside of my forge. When it's maxed up at legendary status, it is a 10% increase. The goblin pauldron is a 20% increase, and it is a level 45, something you want to keep notice of, the level that you need to be able to utilize these pieces of equipment. We have the elf boots again. I told you the construction is 35%. The jungle pants at level 40, construction is 15%, and the Semaluna necklace, which is at 12.5%. So, the very first piece of construction equipment that you're going to want to build is going to be the Goblin Pauldron. Why? Because at level 45, it will give you a 20% boost. You know, if you're stuck and you're going slow in between your levels, you may want to decide to go with the jungle pants, what gives you a 15% boost. But believe me, going between 40 and 45 will go very quickly, especially if you're hitting the campaign mode. So you want to start off with the Goblin Pauldron. When we look at research, I want you to notice that as before we said there was no sword in the construction, but for research there were actually two pieces of equipment. Even though you only can use one at a time, there are two pieces of equipment. Both have research effects. This is the Goblin Spear, which has a 10% research increase, and the Airy Sword, which has a research speed of 15%. I do want to say to you that you do not want to spend your time on the Airy Sword. It has very good cavalry attack, legion attack, and legion defense. This is something that you're going to utilize later on, not for the research powers, but for the damage that it gives you in the attack for your legion and your cavalry, and also the defense that it gives you for your legion. This is not something that you're going to use in order to increase your research. So you want to focus on getting the Goblin Spear. The Goblin Spear can be unlocked at level 50. It has a research speed of only 10%, but it will fill this area. You want to try to get all the pieces that deals with construction and all of the pieces that deal with research. And the helmet, there's only one. This is the One Eye Heavy helmet. This was actually the very first piece of research equipment that I built. It's a level 35 unlock. At level 35 unlock is the 20% increase in research speed. This is a very important piece to get. You should get it as soon as possible. It should be one of the very first research equipments you get. The Orc armor is the one that need a level 60 to be able to be in use. It's only a plus 8% to your research. So it really isn't that one of those items you want to invest your time in early in the game. You want to get it later in the game when you're starting to push for that T5 and you've been able to get your level to a level 60 and can actually use this. T5 research is extremely high. There's over a year and about 8 months of time just between the research, not including the amount of time then dedicated to construction of buildings. So you want to go ahead and you want to save this type of equipment for when you already have a level 60 hero. You don't want to build this early in the game. The elf boots, once again, like I said, these two numbers are the highest in the game in construction and in research. Though you can't use the boots until level 50, you should get that done as soon as possible. The Seeker trousers has a very high research speed at 20%, and it is a 40 unlock. That means that after your one-eyed heavy helmet, the very first piece you should build for research is going to be the Seeker trousers. This is very important. You should focus on getting these two pieces of equipment as soon as possible. And lastly, but certainly not least, is the Ghost Ring. It takes a level 60 to unlock. You're not going to, this is another one of those pieces where you're going to use mostly for the damage that it gives towards your troop. The mage is getting 32.5% damage, mage defense at 20%, and legion health power at 12.5. As level 60 unlock, you're not going to focus on getting this until you are at level 60. You can leave that alone. You should be focusing on the Seeker trousers and of course the one-eye heavy helmet. These should be the two that you're looking for when it comes to research. And once again, when we come to construction, the two that you should be looking for, as I mentioned before, is going to be the Goblin Pauldron, which has a 20% increase at level 45. And you're also going to want to get the Air Cuff hat, which unlocks at level 40 and has a 10% construction speed. These are the best things in regards to dealing with how you're going to use for construction and research. Now, I didn't go into attack, defense, and things of that nature because there are a variety of equipment that you can use in those regards. Here's what I will tell you. I want you to start building equipment as soon as possible. Do not save rare items in order for them to increase so that you can be able to build rare equipment. That isn't a very smart move because some of the rare items, such as the snake fangs and things of that nature, they're unpredictable. It'll be very difficult for you to obtain these things. So trying to save them and until you get enough to be able to increase things to the level that you want to increase them to is just a fool's-hearted agenda. So some more advice I want to give you on dealing with the equipment inside the forge. You want to start building towards a particular suit. As you take a look at my list of equipment, I have a lot of equipment because I did get started early and building equipment. I don't have a lot of time playing the game, just a little over a month. And like I said, I have a lot of equipment. This is because I'm consistently building and upgrading. As you can see, I have some legendary orange pieces. And this is because I want to try to get ahead on the curve as far as building equipment. I don't want to wait till late in the game to start focusing on building the equipment. So, as I said, you want to start building suits. The reason why you want to start building suits, as for me, I went for the Berry Snake suit. You want to find something that you're going to focus on, the things you want to focus on. I went with the Berry Snake. You know, all the suits have their major focus. My biggest focus for me were dealing with the calves, the cavalry. So I went with the Berry Snake specifically for that intention. When you look at the Spider suit, it focuses on infantry and the calves. You know what I mean? I thought this was a great suit as well. However, I was getting a lot of Berry Snakes at the time, so I felt that it would be easy for me to be able to obtain the pieces of material that I need to be able to increase the Berry Snakes, the Berry Snake suit. But as I said, you want to pick a suit and work on that suit so that you get all the pieces of that suit early so that you're later on, when you decide to have a complete suit, to get the extra bonus that occurs from having a complete suit, you already have all the pieces. You will not get any of the extra bonuses until you reach around 60, as the majority of them have level 55 and level 60 unlocked for some of the pieces. I'll give you an example of the bonuses. As you see the bonuses for the snake suit, it has a cavalry health power of plus 15% and mage health powers of plus 15% automatically applied. This is for wearing the entire suit at the same time. The spider suit, you will find that it has an infantry health power of 15% and cavalry health power at 15%. If you have the entire suit, the giant suit, it has an infantry health power of 15% and a mage health power of 15%. And I'm hoping you getting to understand where it says suit effect, that this is the extra bonus effect that you get for having the entire suit. It's very important that you pay attention to that. This is one of the reasons it's important for you to get a suit. You need to plan ahead in this game when it comes to disregard, dealing with your forge. You shouldn't plan for just only the right now, because every single time when you build a piece of forge equipment that's for the right now, you will need to wait for that equipment to be able to be done in order for it to build right now. And the time varies based on the equipment and the level of the equipment that you're gonna build. Equipment focuses. It's not a situation where you can just decide that you have enough pieces that you're going to build an orange piece. It does not work like that. Instead, you will have to start with the gray pieces, which is called common. And then you will have to, after building that, you will get a chance to go with the uncommon pieces, which are the green. And then after building that, you will go to blue, which is the rare pieces. And then after building that, you will go to purple, which is the ultra rare pieces. And then after building that, you can build the legend pieces. You have to build each piece but you have to build each piece up one by one. It is not a situation where you think you're going to have enough equipment or enough material to build a legendary piece of equipment. You will still have to build the common first, and then build the uncommon, and then build the rare, and then build the ultra rare, and then build the legendary. Because of this is the reason why you need to focus on building equipment as soon as possible. Build as many pieces as possible. Do not save the material. Also, when it comes to building gear, what you want to do is you want to start focusing on putting the gems on your gear as soon as possible. I will tell you why. I know in some cases, people, what they want to do is they want to rank up their gems. This is ranking up a gem. You're taking these 4 gems, which is infantry attack, and you're merging them together. And in this particular case, I don't have enough. Oh, I apologize. You're merging them together, and you're making them a higher piece of gem. So now the infantry attack is plus 7%. And the reason why you do not want to delay on using these gems, as you will see, I'm about to use a piece. I actually took this off of one of my other pieces, and I'm going to put it on my my snake sword, as it will increase my infantry attack by 7%, and this will just get added to the already 7.75 cavalry attack, 7.75 mage attack, 2.5% cavalry attack, and 2.5 mage attack. What has been added is the plus 7% infantry attack. This has been added by using the stone. And the reason why it's important to use the stone is because when you do not want to use the stone, you can simply demolish the stone. And demolishing the stone does not cost you the stone. As I just demolished just now, I can go right back in, and now I can utilize this stone. I can go right back in and utilize the stone I just demolished. Why is this important? Because say, for instance, you have 3 of a particular stone, and you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to upgrade that stone, but you had a 4th part that was on a different piece of equipment. You can take that piece off of the equipment, add it to the 3 you already have, fuse it together, increase the stats, and then put it back on that equipment, increasing the stat of that equipment. So this is very important. You want to put stones as soon as possible, simply because they only benefit. They only benefit. They will increase your stats dramatically, and they can be removed without being lost. So you want to put a stone on there as soon as possible. Okay, guys, that's going to be it. I'm not going to go any further. Like I said, I didn't want to focus on what's the best attack, what's the best defense, what's the best health power, what's the best. I didn't want to go into that. I just want to give a quick lesson on dealing with the Forge and emphasize the importance of utilizing the Forge as soon as possible. Later on in a much later video, I will focus on the best attack equipment and the best defense equipment and the best of the different types of equipments that's in this game. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and just to give you guys a little extra on me, if you notice from the last video to this video, I'm in another alliance. I'm on Death on Call. I just want to give a shout out to some of my fellas inside the alliance. Killer Kane, who is the leader of the alliance. My boy Eric, of course. Kit Kat, who seems to not be here currently. You know, and Pete Diddy and a few of the other guys. I just want to give a shout out to you guys. The reason I left my alliance, the other alliance, is because we merged to form a bigger, stronger alliance. War is still a part of my guild, and they're like the training alliance for Death on Call. If you like the video, like I said, like it, subscribe, and enjoy.